So, guys, there you have it. They're the league leaders so far. That fantastic defensive record. But I guess, Julien, how key is it, the fact that we're this far into the season, but they've already done Anfield, Old Trafford and St James's Park and come through with, points in a couple of those games?
Yeah, and hosting City as well, obviously at the Emirates. And I think if you told Arteta and the players, would you sign for this many points after those games, they would have taken it, really. And you can even look at the game away at Liverpool and that Szoboszlai free kick with 10 minutes to go, and that could have been a draw. And it would be even better for them. So it's a great start of the season. And now maybe where the games are a little bit easier, certainly not the likes of Liverpool away and Newcastle away, United away or City at home, that's also where they need the points. Because last season is the point they dropped on their way during that campaign that in the end cost them.
Yeah, I mean, Ash, when you've got teams like that and you've already faced them, you've already been to Anfield and had those moments, how much psychologically is that a help to know that they're out the way and done?
It can be a help or a hindrance, I think, because sometimes you build yourself up for the so-called bigger games, and what you're saying is then you just let your guard down a little bit against the so-called lesser team. But I think that having the confidence, especially that Newcastle game, when I watched that one, I was like, okay, this Arsenal team is a level above last year's Arsenal team. They've learnt from some of the mistakes that they made. They seem more experienced. They're just solid throughout. The strength in depth is great. I think Arteta's team are positioned really well this season.
There's a question that I know, Julien, you're going to absolutely hate. Are Arsenal the best team in Europe right now? I know
you mean after
team.
PSG, that's what you mean?
That's exactly my point. Yeah, I know, obviously, you love your sacred Paris Saint-Germain, but, how good are they?
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly the best team in the Premier League for now, there's no doubt. They're the best defence, not just in England, but in the whole of Europe. I think AC Milan are the next team with 4 goals conceded. They control games well. They're the best team without the ball, structurally, defensively, in terms of organisation. On set pieces, they are incredible, really. And they're still without Martin Odegaard, arguably the most creative player in that squad. So they have an amazing momentum right now going for them, for sure. And yeah, they are probably one of the best in Europe with Bayern Munich right now. The two most informed in Bayern have won 12 in 12 in all competitions. This is something else. But yeah, I think the belief within that camp is that they are that team too. So now they have, like we were saying earlier, they have to show it every game, big team, small team, Champions League, the League Cup, whatever you want. But I think they have really that confidence massive at the moment.
Ash, what about you? You believe in the hype or?
Yeah, I am, honestly, to be honest, this season. I've got to say, in years past, we all know Arsenal kind of have a wobble and there's a lot of noise around it. But this year, I just think that with the signings that they brought in, but on top of what they already had, you look at that defensive unit they've got with the goalkeeper. It seems like they've got all the pieces. I can't see why they don't get it done, the Premier League, at least this year. Yeah. I know it's a long season, so much football to be played, but they have such strength and depth in each position. It's probably the 2 centre-backs are key, really, if they can keep them. And the goalkeeper, I can see them going on and doing the whole thing.
You mentioned the new signings there. I mean, obviously, so much pressure has been put on Victor Gyökeres to get those goals. He went a long time without it. Midweek in the Champions League, he got 2 quite potentially the ugliest goals I've ever seen in my life. But Ash, it looks so much of a relief for his teammates. Is that what it's like in a dressing room when you've got a striker that isn't performing?
100%, especially if he's popular within the changing room. You just want to supply him with as many chances as possible, and then you can see when they score, it happens all over the place, but when they score, there's like an extra, you can see it means a bit to everyone. You're happy for them because at the end of the day, that wins you games, so we all progress in that, but it's your mate as well and you want him to score goals, and strikers feel the pressure when they're not scoring. Yeah. I can't say that they're the same about us and clean sheets, but we like to see them score. Yeah, so it's a relief when you've got a mate up front who gets his goals.
Yeah, I mean, what have you made of him so far?
I understand he's a 9, so he needs to score goals. I get that. But I think even in those 9 games where he hadn't scored between, what was it, Leeds and this one?
This one, yeah, Atletico, yeah.
There was a lot of good things that he would do for the team, unselfishness in a way, in holding up defenders, making that pressure, the trigger of the press, that was him, and the counter-pressing. All of that, I think, was very important for him. Look, remember the goal that they scored against Olympiacos, the Martinelli one. Yeah. It's his run that makes really the goal. Then he hit the post and Martinelli has a tap in. But
Martinelli basically tried to let it go in for him. At that
exactly. At that point, you're right. But that run that he made, the strength and power that he had to go in front of his defender, and then he's a little bit unlucky with the finishing. But nobody else in that squad can do that run and be there at that time. So I think there was still a lot of really positive things he was doing. even if he was not scoring, if he can score as well, they would take that. But I think he's also very important in what he brings to the game and to the team and how he affects the game.
As a defender, do you agree with that? Because are you looking at him going, he hasn't scored in 9 games, or are you thinking,
if he's in my team?
No, like if you're coming up against him.
No, yeah. You don't want a handful, and he is a handful, and you don't, because that's just going to give you a tough. If he scores or not, and more than likely when you play against a striker like that, either he scores or he just creates something by being such a handful that you take your eye off something else and they score. So it's a difficult matchup when you're playing against a striker like Gyökeres. He's big, he can run, he can hold it up, he can do all of the bits that we say a 9 should be able to do, which we don't get that much. But there's not that many strikers with that profile in today's game. So I think he's a very good player. He'd be a nightmare to play against.
Arsenal face Crystal Palace this weekend on Sunday. For Eberechi Eze, obviously playing against a team that you've just come from, how much does that play into your head? Ash, you must have done it playing against your old side. Is it a positive or is it a negative?
No, I didn't enjoy it. I left Swansea and went to Everton and went back to the Liberty Stadium and I didn't enjoy it at all. Yeah, it was. I just found it tough. You're in the away dressing room instead of the one that you're used to. You're running out to the opposite side, and I didn't enjoy the 90 minutes at all. And for an attacking player, I guess if you score, it feels weird. But again, you're a professional. You're getting paid a lot of money to do the best for the team that you're playing for now. So you've got to get that job done. But I find it a tricky one and an awkward one, unless you're playing against a team that you didn't like. And
Manager that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, reminiscent of Adebayor just going through my head. Yeah,
for celebration.
Yeah, exactly. But Julia, do you think we've seen the best yet of Eze? Obviously, he's 9 games in now.
Yeah.
But he's clearly just trying to find his pace with Arsenal.
Yeah, and he moved position. Obviously now he's playing the Odegaard role, which is not the role that he had at Crystal Palace either. It's not the one that he started with at Arsenal when he was more on the left-hand side. So he's just still, I think, learning the patterns of play of this team and where you fit and where the ball is. And he's on the side of Saka, and Saka gets a lot of the ball, especially his relationship with Timber behind him. So all of that he has to take in consideration. But on the ball, you can see there's just no panic, isn't it? He's in control of everything. He's just so good. And you feel he's not far from just clicking and then after that being a really great asset for this team. But already in possession especially, he's been a good player.